Welcome, everybody, to another Georgia Archery podcast. I'm your host, Big John Chandler, and this is where we talk about anything and everything to do with archery in the state of Georgia and Georgia archers wherever they may shoot. And as you can see, I am missing Robbie once again. It's been a couple of weeks. We haven't done nothing, but now I have a guest on the telephone, John Powell, Georgia Bowbender. What's going on, John?
Hey, everybody out there in the archery world. Hope everyone's getting ready, getting excited for the deer season. But here's the best thing for traditional archers in our area, in the Georgia Piedmont area, or you can come from all over. But we got the 2024 Kill Shoot 3D Championship. It's our fourth year. First year, I held it at Clybell. 13 people showed up. It was embarrassing, but it was my first year. Second year, we held it at TGM down at Gretchen's in Shadydale.
Yep.
We had 29 people show up. My third year, we had 38 people show up. We had James Jean in the house. He's coming again this year, by the way. If you don't know who James Jean is, you need to look up James Jean Trick Shots. The guy's unbelievable. And
For
he's going to
sure.
be there.
Yep.
And we're actually having an event with him involved in it with his aerial targets. And I made a special trophy for that. So you're going to give Gene a little bit of money, $5, and whoever has the most hits is going to win a trophy.
That's awesome.
But this is going to be our fourth year. So last year it got to 101 degrees. So far, at the end of August, the weather's been holding out. I need dry weather, but it always seems like I planned this thing wrong. There is a UGA versus Clemson game at 12 o'clock. So please don't go to that game and come to our shoot. We need your attendance, okay? But it seems like I can't, you're just operating 100 miles an hour trying to organize this thing, calling for donations, getting the porta potty, getting the food together, getting everything set up, putting the flags out, setting the course. It's overwhelming. So people that have ran shoots that I've been to, we got to give a big thank you to all the people in Georgia that are holding out right now, hosting shoots, because a lot of work really does go behind it. And I got nothing but respect for everyone that does it, because I've been doing it now for 4 years, and I'm a one-man show right now. If we grow over 50 people to come, I'm going to need some people to help. But I love it. The traditional bug bit me a long time ago, and then I started killing deer with a recurve and a longbow, and it was hooked. I'm like, this is all I really want to do. So I started with a compound. I've been shooting a bow since I was 10. And with the traditional bow, you're constantly, every shot is a challenge. Every time you shoot, everything has to be right in the moment. So you're constantly trying to chase perfection. And marginal's still okay in traditional. That's what's great about it. So
yeah. So you call it the Georgia Bowbenders Kill Shoot?
yes. So we basically, it's based off Fred Bear scoring.
Okay.
So Fred Bear used to host some shoots, and the idea was fives were basically negatives, right? So in our shoot, I keep the scoring real simple. It's 10, 0, -5. So if you get it in the 8, we're going to give you a 10 and award you for ethically killing that animal on that 3D target.
All right. So you use the 8 ring as the 10 ring.
Correct.
Okay. And then from there, you either miss the target or you have a -5.
Correct.
So
And we have an award for the worst guy. We give them an award, and we tell them to keep practicing. The first year we gave that award, it was my neighbor George. And then the next year he came and he didn't get it. And he said, "I'm glad I didn't get last this year." And some guy from Alabama wound up getting last. But everybody's a good sport about it. It's not to demean anybody. It's just a joke. We laugh, we clap for each other. And,
oh yeah.
hey, that guy still gets to go home with a trophy. So
That's fun. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's fun. I went to a fun event last weekend, the Gathering with the Senior Bass Juan Carlos and Miguel. Congratulations on a new baby. They had a brand new baby, and it was the same type of thing. There was 12 or 15 targets, and they scored 10, 8, and -5.
Awesome.
And it was fun. I mean, it was a whole lot of fun. The last weekend, R&D had their fun hunting shoot, and I mean, I have some friends who went, and they told me that that was a blast. So I mean, having fun is what this is all about, right? And
Absolutely.
the stick and stringers always have fun. Y'all always are come out and have some fun. I mean Thursday nights we had two or three of y'all that show up, and one night we had five or six or something like that. And it's just fun to see that group of people coming out and hanging out with us, and having a good time. But yeah, so if you are a stick and stringer, or you have one in the closet somewhere, look, you could win an award if you haven't shot your bow all year. If you haven't broke Grandpa's recurve out, and you haven't, in a year or so, dig it out of your closet and show up over there at this weekend. I'll have some. I've shared it several times on the Georgia Archery page, but you can see it on the Georgia Archery page, an address. Are y'all doing it like a shotgun start? So that
That's kind of up in the air. I would
okay,
like to.
I got you.
If we get a bunch of people that get there early enough to register,
I
I'll
got you.
start. I'll start sending them out there, and then we always got our stragglers. But
Oh, of course, somebody's got stuck in traffic. Woke up late, forgot what day it was. That happens all the time. So, I mean, the cool part is that so you can go out and shoot. It's over at TMG Archery, right? Team Grandma, um,
TGM Archery,
TGM. Yep, and
7949 Post Road,
there you go,
Shady Dale, Georgia.
Shady Dale, Georgia.
7:30 to 8:30 registration, and that's flexible. We'd like to get started around 9 with the scoring, and we usually have lunch around 12. I tally up the scores as soon as they shoot, and they can go shoot with James Dean. He's going to be in the field along the highway in that cow pasture
Yep.
where it's really long. So you can go do your aerial shots over there, get your score, hand that in, and we do the peach drop too. We do like a money shoot at the end. I have this guy Gregory Richards. He's awesome. He's a big supporter and promoter of traditional archery. The guy's from New York originally. I think he moved to Louisiana. As soon as he moved to Louisiana, this guy started like an archery club down there, and he has a group of traditional archers. But he made me a foam target in the shape of a peach, and we put springs on it so it folds back and springs forward. And at the end of our shoot, it's $20. You get 5 shots. If you miss them all, we just keep putting money in the pot till people are tapped out.
I understand.
Last year, a young lady named Erin won 125 bucks or something. We had it up to
Wow,
$250.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
we did 50-50 split,
Yeah,
50
that's
with the event,
but
50 with the archer.
oh, that's fine. I mean, it's the funny part is you do this once a year, right?
Yep, once a
And
year.
and you try your best to get everybody to come out and have a good time. And
I'm selling this thing all year long, man.
I
I
know.
my job is selling at work all day, and then at nighttime I'm going after, I'm communicating with people for donations. I
Yep.
mean, Curtis, he calls me the senator or the governor, but every
The
time he's with
governor.
me at a shoot,
That's right. The
he's
governor.
like, everybody. I said, hey man, you gotta, if you don't talk to people, they don't know anything about you. You gotta promote it and say, hey, I'm John, we got to shoot.
A hundred
You
percent.
interested in coming? And yeah, I can't wait to take a break from that because it's been nonstop 100 miles per hour since basically March is when I
Oh yeah.
start turning up on this thing. But like I said, John, it's Fred Bear scoring 10-0, 10-0, -5. You can use any traditional type of bow,
That's cool.
any setup, elevated rest, plungers allowed.
Doesn't matter.
String,
You're here to have fun with some trad guys.
string walking permitted. They can use binoculars, no rangefinders. It's 25-yard max, so it's not It's a doable course, and I get it. People bring their wives and their girlfriends. Kids shoot for free. It's $25 to enter, and we don't want people looking for arrows all day. So it's a very doable course. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I'm assuming you've been out there a few times now, trying to get the course ready and set up and cleaned up, and trying to make it,
Yep.
where it needs to be. Yeah. I just it's that time of year, right? Like you said, everybody's getting ready for hunting, right? I mean, we ain't got but a few weeks, and hunting season is upon us, right? So let me just, if you don't know, I always have to do this because everybody asks me. If you don't know when hunting season is, you can actually go to georgiaarchery.com. It's spelled out, georgiaarchery.com. And as of right this very minute, while we're recording this, is 16 days, 10 hours, 40 minutes, and counting down the seconds. So this is pretty much the last hurrah for, especially for trad guys, right? You always try to get it to the last one. North Georgia had their last shoot in their championship the first weekend of the month, and you know this is sort of at the end of the month. It's a holiday weekend. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's doing their thing. So I am. Everybody's. If people can see me. They can't see you because we couldn't get it to work for some reason. But yeah,
So yeah,
so
we're excited for the season. There's a lot of great folks there. A lot of hardcore bow
trad
hunters.
guys. Yeah, yeah, trad.
Sometimes they call the trad guys elitist. We're not all elitist.
trad.
There's
Tra-
a lot of compound guys that cross over and
yes,
cross
for
over pretty
sure.
well.
That is
So
true.
if you're
Um,
listening, come on over to the dark side. We got the Appling Archers.
yep,
Supposedly, a lot of them are going to be coming, and
yep.
they got a great traditional following and group over
And
there.
last year, right? Jazz is everybody knows who Jazz Leach is, and he, well, not everybody. I should change that. A lot of people know who Jazz Leach is. We've had an interview with him, and he's been on several times, and he's always his name's been mentioned a bunch when he was shooting. But he showed up last year and podiumed, right? Yeah,
He,
I mean he's close. It was a top four, maybe. Sh-
Jas did really well
yeah,
with the aerial. We were
that's
hanging
right.
out late in the day. He did really well with the aerial shots. He's a natural man, and I got to text him actually, make sure he's coming out.
I'm not
Make sure.
sure. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in a week, roughly a week. I don't know when his work schedule is, and that's his problem. But yeah, that's this weekend. So this Saturday, that
We
is
got
the
5 divisions, John.
that is the
Men's longbow, men's recurve, women's longbow, women's recurve. Kids are combined. I actually added. I'm wrong. Sorry, I added a primitive class
oh,
because
you got a primitive class. That's wood
Edie
on.
Quillian got on me and he's like, "Are you doing it?" I said, "He's like, are you doing a primitive class?" So
That's
that's a self bow
that's a
or a
self bow, wood on wood, right?
yep, wooden arrows. They can use modern string material,
Yep,
modern knock and point, but it's basically self
self
bow
bow.
wooden arrow. And
Oh, DD is a
got
good
those
guy.
guys
He's
are gonna
he
battle it out too.
yeah, but that's awesome. So if you're a stick and stringer and you're listening to this Georgia archery event, you need to come on out and do your thing. If you got one, you got one of them recurves in the corner. Look, you have a chance to um win a trophy, no matter if you're last place, right? Because you said the worst man gets a trophy, right?
Yeah, if you want to guarantee a last place, just hit
Hey,
those fives.
look, you can get a trophy for first, you can get a trophy for last. That's just freaking awesome. I mean, where else can you go to a tournament to say, "Hey, I shot the worst, but I got this"? That's awesome. But I will mention one other thing so that people know those compound guys out there that don't have a recurve. Saturday, the bow hunter warm up over there in Gainesville Archery Club is having their shoot on Saturday at 8 a.m. So if you are a compounder and you're not a stick and stringer, or you're not a bow bender, that if you have training wheels on your compound bow, then you can go over to Gainesville Archery Club and shoot their bow hunter warm up. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the shots yet. So, they always have a good time. And y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that, right? I had a message come through. That's the messaging that I have all the time. It is that time of year when it is busy. Um, 16 days to hunting season. Um, there's a lot of guys out there that are trying to get their bows ready. Um, the shop is booming. Robbie, I mean, I love my buddy Robbie. I miss him a whole bunch. But with this busyness, this busy season, he is the only bow technician in the archery shop down at his archery place, and he's the only archery shop within miles, miles, miles. I don't know how many from his place. So he is like busy, busy, busy. Plus, on top of that, he turned around and bought a new house. So he's moved his stuff in, got it set up. He's close, right? And then he had some unforeseen problems. So we're not going to talk about them, but he is not at the archery shop for the next 2 days. So y'all send out some love for Robbie, because Robbie is in some pain right now. And
Oh no.
yeah, and so he's got some issues that he's trying to work out. Um, so please, you know, my buddy Robbie, we want to make sure he's well and ready to go. But yeah, I appreciate everything you have done, John. I appreciate you showing up on Thursdays with us, uh, shooting 3D at the Ace Archery. We've having 3D shoots, so all the guys who's getting ready for the bow hunting, look, there's no heat. You don't have to worry about the humidity. The air conditioning works well, and we have a good time shooting 3D targets. That's probably gonna
And
last.
we get music. We get
Oh
good
yeah,
music too.
we play music. If it goes off, everybody goes, "Hey, turn the music back on," because it sounds real weird with no music in there. Um, but everybody comes out and has a good time. You know.
We're lucky. We got a good group of guys
Oh
and
man,
ladies there. We
for
got a great
sure.
group there.
Art
Kids,
archery
members.
is awesome. There's no doubt about it. Every day I meet new people coming in the shop that love archery, and that's what we're about, right? Georgia Archery is Georgia Archery. Anybody who's doing a Georgia Archery. So you got your hunting bow ready? I mean, I don't know if your tournament bow and your hunting bow is two different things, but you got your hunting bow ready?
Yes, I do. I shoot broadheads every night. I don't want to brag too much, but I got a pretty big basement. I can shoot 15 yards.
15 yards. Hey, that's about your kill zone right there, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, 15 to 20 yards is most of our kills, sometimes closer.
Yep,
And sometimes too close is too close. You can't even draw on the
that's
deer.
for
So I'm hard.
sure.
But I get pinned down a lot sometimes. You pick a tree and you're like, this is going to be a good spot. And then sometimes there's too many around and you can't move. So I had opportunities where I could have shot, but couldn't shoot.
Have
So
you have you ever tried saddle hunting?
um, no, because it reminds me too much of work. I grew up climbing
I
trees.
I
So
know.
that's the last thing I want to
I
do is
I
work when
just
I'm
was
enjoying myself hunting. So
I was just asking because
I
that
do have a
is
summit, open shot, and
I
I
got
think
you.
I'm going to get the new lone wolf crossover climber is what I'm
Crossover
interested in.
climber. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, my bow hunting rig, we used it. Like I said, I used it at the last event that I went to at the gathering, and then I used it again at the bow hunter. Um, the Bowtex rally when we went to it. So the bow is shooting really well. I'm just trying to get my arrows like I want them, put the broadheads on them, and I'm gonna test them and that type of thing. So I mean, it's time for that time of year, right? It's time to be shooting something. 16 days. I mean, yeah, I'm telling you, when football season comes, everybody goes, man, summer's over. Man, that's my happiest time of the year. There's no doubt about it. Fall is my time. I love fall. Football, deer hunting, cooler weather, no bugs. I mean, what can you ask for? It's awesome. Um, yeah, so the team, is doing their thing. We're trying our best to get Georgia Archery promoted. I hate that we've missed 2 weeks in a row. I appreciate John for being here. If you have a question or you have a message for us or anything you want us to talk about, Robbie will be back. There's no doubt about it. He's going to get his stuff set up and get going. Um, and if you have something you want us to talk about, you can send us an email, georgearchery@gmail.com. If you want to see the countdown for hunting, you can go to georgearchery.com and it's on the front page, so it's easy to find. Um, you can find us in this podcast on any audio. I mean, if you don't look, if you go to a podcast app and you don't see Georgia Archery, send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, wherever. Send us a message that says, "Hey, I couldn't find Georgia Archery on this app." We'll make sure we get there because we're pretty much everywhere. We're on Amazon. We're on Spotify, which is probably the number one. We're on YouTube Music. YouTube itself, we run the video. And, we're on our webpage also. So you can find us everywhere there is anywhere. And, dude, I appreciate everything you're doing. I hope you have over 50 because that's the breaking point. That's the changeover, right?
That's the goal. We had 38 last year. Man, if I could get 50, that'd be awesome.
Yep.
Who knows? 100 people might show up, and it
Oh
could be
man.
overwhelming. That'll be
Look,
a good overwhelming,
look.
you know?
So you didn't talk about lunch. Who's doing lunch?
Close friend of mine, they actually build pools out of Rockdale County. Can I plug them? Can I plug them?
All day long.
Rock Custom Pools, close friend of mine, Joe. We met at Social Circle Wrestling Club. Our boys wrestled together. And then I got Joe into archery. And we were at dinner one night, me and my wife and him and his wife. And
Yep.
I was like, oh, yeah, I'm running an event. And they're like,
What event?
oh, well, what event is it? I'm like, well, it's an archery event. They're like, well, we'll help you with that. And they buy all the food. I give them some money towards the food. But the big hit last year was the turkey burgers. We sold out on turkey burgers.
Well, yeah. So what happens? I mean, and I hate to say it because I mean,
The food's important, John.
Ben,
The food is very important.
100%. But Ben Brown is has to only eat something that's been hatched, because he has that whatever it is. I can't remember, but you can't eat beef. And so when he's coming to an event, he always asks me, "You got some chicken? You got some something?"
Yeah, he's got
So,
that tick-borne.
Tick-borne disease. Yep, 100%. And so I try my best to obligate, to make sure that we have something for him. Also, when we host a big indoor event, there's a lot of people who don't eat beef or don't eat pork. And so we want to make sure we have some options for them. And that turkey burger goes out fast, right?
Oh my goodness, at the end of the day, I was like talking to them. I'm like, hey, I didn't eat all day. We got any turkey burgers left? They're like, nope.
Nope.
I'm like, man, I'm the shoot host and I ain't eating today.
Yep, it happens.
But Ben already hit me up at the GBAA shoot. He's like, hey, you gonna have those turkey burgers again? I'm like, Ben, it's a month from now, but yes, I'll have them.
Well, I mean, and that's understandable, right? I mean, you want to make sure that you get what they need. And if you have what they need, they'll show up. You have a 3D course that is awesome set up for trad bow guys. So anybody who's a trad bow guy, go out there, go to the kill shoot for Georgia Bowbenders, and make sure you have a good time. Tell him if you let's how about this? If you heard this video or saw this thing and didn't know nothing about it, and you decided to go, if you tell John Powell that you showed up because Georgia Archery let you there, right? There may be a prize for the people who said that. How about that?
Sounds good.
Sounds good, right? So if
Yep.
anybody who has seen this video or listened to this podcast and they said, "Hey, I didn't know nothing about it until I saw the podcast and I showed up," you tell Mr. John Powell. I will say that we have decided that yes, Brittany is going to be taking Georgia archery pictures. Um, so we're going to get her out there that morning and before I go to work, I guess. And let her take pictures that day. So Georgia Archery will have pictures of this event. Also, the gathering that we had this past weekend that I was at, Georgia Archery will be posting pictures. I just haven't had a chance to upload them because, well, it's 16 days before deer season. What do you expect an archery shop to be doing? Working on bows. Working on bows every day, any day, and then just how it is. Um, if you haven't got your bow worked on yet because you opened up your bow, open up your please. If you haven't opened up your bow case, please open up your bow case. I'm asking anybody and everybody. I know I'm talking to the preaching to the choir because all these guys that are listening to us are Georgia archers, right? They always shoot their bow. You shoot your bow every day. You shoot broadheads every day out of your hunting bow. But if you haven't opened your bow up, open your bow up. Make sure it's good. Um, most any reputable bow shop is behind on bowstrings. There's no doubt that you're going to be behind on bowstrings. All right. If you need a string on your bow and you knew it when you put it in the bow, shame on you. When you put it up in December and you knew that it needed a new string, shame on you. Because we're 16 days out, and I promise you right now, we are 4.5 weeks out of the shop. So if you need a bowstring on your bow, you're 4.5 weeks out. You're going to miss first couple of weeks of the bow season.
Well, that is one more benefit of being a traditional archer. I make my own strings, so
Well, yeah, I mean for sure, but there's no doubt about it. But I'm saying in general, we cater to the masses, right?
yep.
And John, I appreciate everything you've done today. I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me while this is the first time I've done. We're 2 weeks off. We are this will be the first one in 2 weeks. We've missed 2 weeks, so
Well,
this.
I known you and Robbie for a while, man, and
Yep.
just want to thank you for the exposure. I'm a big supporter of Georgia archery, and hopefully we can all grow together. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
There's
I mean, archery is such a small sport that we all need to get along. And
That's right.
and I've told you that 1,000 times. We need to get everybody together to hang out, to do a thing. And George Archery is trying his best to put together a shoot at the end of the year, right? And
Hmm.
and it just hasn't worked out because Robbie has had major changes in his life, to buy a house, to do some things, and we're busy as rip. So, it's hard for him to even get up this way of the world. But I mean, we're planning on still doing something, and
Spring shoot would be
oh,
good for you guys.
hey, for sure. But we're working on something. We're trying to figure it out, and I tell you, it's you know, the camaraderie of people that shoot a bow. You know this because even that you're a stick and stringer, you understand that the compound guys, embrace you all, you and the group, like everybody else, right? I think that what we do as an archer, no matter what it is, I will say this, and I'm going to say this. I'm not going to lie. I'm, I'm almost finished with this cup. We're not going to talk about what's in it, but it was good. Um, Archery is too small of a group to go. You should have shot that with a compound. That's too big. You should shot that with a crossbow. You shouldn't have used this. You shouldn't have used. Dude, we're all archers. We're all in it to have a good time. We're all in it to enjoy the hunt itself. If you think it's a trophy and it's 3 points on its head, I am super proud of you. Right? There's no doubt about it. It doesn't have to be 155 inches to go, oh my gosh, that was a great bow. Kill. Dude, if it had 3 points on his head and you think it's a trophy, I am proud for you. So hunting has lost its. I mean, I think the internet has killed the hunting of greatness. The fun of hunting. It really has. Because you're afraid to oh, I posted this or I didn't want to post that because I had to trace it 100 yards or I had to run it 120 yards or oh, it was a small deer. I don't care. Dude, you got that deer within kill range and you got to sling an arrow at it. I am super proud of you. Don't you
I'm all for that too.
don't you feel the same way?
I think back when my dad would wear the tree bark camo, and
100%.
he would hunt with matched underheads with 2315s and 4-inch feathers, but he was killing deer with that stuff then. And you think about those bows were probably worse than trad bows back then, and way worse than we have now. But guys were killing things with them, So it's really cool to see how far it has come. And then some of
100%.
those guys evolved from a recurve to those 80s and 1990s bows to
Yep.
what we have today. And then some of them go back full
Oh,
circle.
for
And
sure.
then they're shooting a stealth bow, like
Well,
DB and
well,
Charlie Peachy.
yeah. So
Yeah.
archery is not about how far you can shoot; it's how close you can get them.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, it's how close you can get them. Because you have to draw that bow. You all right? And we know that deer are not like they're dumb at looking at you. They have great sight. And you got to beat their nose, and you got to beat their smell, and you got to beat their eyes, and you got to beat. Dude, I don't care if it's a big old floppy eared doe. If you shot that sucker, I am super proud for you.
I always think a nervous doe is a great trophy. A really nervous doe. You can I call them singing Sallies. They come in stomping and loving,
for
and
sure.
they don't want to leave. And it's like, if you can get an arrow in her when she's doing that,
100%. There's no doubt about it.
I think that's harder than killing a buck and rut.
Oh, for sure. Because the buck and rut got his mind on something else, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And that doe is all paying attention to you. So yeah, John, I appreciate everything you've done. Go out and shoot his shoot. I appreciate you entertaining my. We're at 33 minutes of talking. I appreciate everything you've done. If you need anything, give us a holler. We'll always take care of you and try to get things going. We want our best to get this pushed out so that everybody and their brother can see, hey, there's a trad shoot this weekend. Pick up your stick and string. Dude, if you're last place, you get to win an award. Where else can you go? Where else can you go today and shoot a tournament and get an award for last place? Nowhere. That's awesome. It makes me want. It makes me want
at the 2024 kill shoot.
That's right.
Dale, Georgia.
Shady Dale, Georgia.
31st.
That's right. I makes me want to go pick up one. I'll be at work all day. So, dude, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. And don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Until next time, I'm Big John. That's John Powell at Georgia Bowbenders. And you can see us anywhere and everywhere. We'll see you.
Thanks, John. Have a good night, buddy.